Good evening, watching the 7 o'clock English news from the Sultanate Oman Television. First, the headlines. The State Council discusses the draft law of bankruptcy forwarded from the Council of Ministers. And the Royal Opera House, Muscat, reveals holding of the Oman International Festival of Folk Music within the 2019-2020 season. Those are the headlines. Now the news in detail. The State Council discussed today the draft law of bankruptcy forwarded from the Council of Ministers on its regular 10th session for the annual 4th round of the 6th term of the Council. The session was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfouz al-Mandari, Chairman of the State Council. During the session, the Council members reviewed the statement of the Economic Committee on the draft law of bankruptcy, where it clarified that the draft law included 242 articles distributed on 4 chapters: restructuring and reform, bankruptcy, conditions and procedures of sales and distribution assets of bankruptcy, final provisions and rehabilitation, and punishments. The bankruptcy draft law aimed to find legislative and legal framework to enhance a legislation environment in order to attract foreign investment to the Sultanate through reconciliation of the provisions governing bankruptcy, including responding to resolution of problems and organizing pre-bankruptcy reform phase called restructuring. The Royal Opera House in Muscat revealed it has sold 40,000 tickets during the last season for concerts, and more than 10,000 people attended educational and social communication activities. The press conference of the Royal Opera House indicated that the season of 2019-2020 will witness the establishment of Oman International Festival of Folk Music, complemented with over hundreds of performances on the theatre of the house. It's worth mentioning that the Royal Opera House in Muscat started this season by hosting the world premiere of the new production of Carmen, which was directed by Oscar-winning set designer Gianni Quaranta. Following up implementation of improved integrated development strategy topped the discussions of the 33rd meeting of Undersecretaries of Ministries and Authorities of Planning and Development of GCC countries held in Muscat. The meeting reviewed in its workstation issues related to planning and development and assigning Arab Planning Institute to prepare a unified report of GCC countries, in addition to assign a work team of activating integrated development strategy on reviewing the improved strategy with the possibility of updating to meet current economic and development changes. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Talal bin Sulaiman Al-Rahbi, Deputy Secretary General of the Supreme Council for Planning. Authority for Electricity Regulation launched the second phase of the National Initiative for Solar Energy through an app, Sahim, which enables villas and apartment owners in Muscat to install solar grids in their places. The new phone app will determine potential subscribers to solar powers in Muscat and offer financing options to these potential subscribers at competitive rates. The Authority for Electricity Regulation aims at offering an environmentally friendly power option by lowering gas emissions resulting from using fossil fuels. The new service is expected to cut down the utility expenses for subscribers on one hand and reduce the load of electricity on the other hand. The Board of Directors of the Public Authority for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Development, RIADA, praised the government bodies which assigned businesses with 10% or more of tenders and purchases for small and medium-sized enterprises recorded in Riyadh during 2018. This came in the second meeting of the board this year. The board also reviewed indication of service performances provided by the authority to SMEs and the executive positions for the decision of awarding government tenders and purchases to SME. Data of government tenders and purchases awarded from 14 governmental bodies, topped by Sultan Qaboos University, revealed that 1,634 SMEs were benefited through Riyadh from government tenders and purchases with a total value of 48.6 million Omani riyals, and 70% got the Entrepreneur cards. Still to come, News Bulletin. Laying bridges of communication among all those living in this blessed country. We are all Oman. Convoy activities start in Dakhliya Governorates.
احرص على التأكد من بياناتك الانتخابية من خلال الموقع الإلكتروني للانتخابات elections.om. انتخابات أعضاء مجلس الشورى للفترة التاسعة. مع تحيات وزارة الداخلية.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. On other news, Yemen's Houthi movement and the United Nations have agreed on a mechanism to inspect ships docking at Al Hudaydah following the group's withdrawal from 3 Red Sea ports under a UN-sponsored deal. The Houthis' unilateral pullout last month from the ports of Salif, used for grain, Ras Isa oil terminal, and Hudaydah, the main entry point for commercial and aid imports, represented the only program or progress in implementing the deal reached last December. The United Nations source confirmed that an agreement has been reached with the UN inspection today, the body verification and inspection mechanism for Yemen. It still needs to sign a separate agreement with the Saudi-led military coalition that monitoring ships on the high seas heading to Yemen. The Hudaydah ceasefire and troop redeployment agreement was reached last year, and peace talks in Sweden as a trust-building measure to pave the way for talks to end the war, but stalled for months before the Houthi withdrawal. The toll from a strong 6.0 magnitude earthquake in southeast China rose to 12 dead and 134 injured today as rescuers pulled bodies and survivors from wrecked buildings. More than 4,000 people were relocated as a large number of structures were damaged or collapsed following yesterday's earthquake outside Yibin in Sichuan province. Xinhua news agency said that 9 people died in Changning County and 3 others in Xi'an County. It added that more than 500 firefighters have been dispatched to the scene. Rescue personnel were also sent with 5,000 tents, 10,000 folding cots and other emergency supplies. Oman Tower Company and Omantel signed an agreement to use telecommunications towers infrastructure and enhance the quality of telecommunications services. Our reporter Saleh bin Khaffar Rahbi has more details on that.
Oman Tower Company and Oman Telecommunications Company, Omantel, signed an agreement for the exploitation of communications tower infrastructure in the Sultanate.
This agreement will allow all the telecom operators and Omantel to use the towers infrastructure built by the Omani Towers company, and this will enable Omantel to provide new technology and the latest technologies in the market. It will also enhance and improve the quality of service.
As per the agreement, Oman Tower Company will establish, manage and maintain communication towers and lease them to operators of mobile telecommunication services in the country.
Oman Tower Company has been established at early 2018 to construct and maintain and lease the towers to the service mobile operators, and this is very important to make sure that the service mobile operator is expanding their mobile network to cover the whole country, which is Oman basically in the regions, as well as the newly established road like Batna Express Road, Adam Thamreit Road, as well as Bidbitso Road.
Signing this agreement comes within the efforts exerted to avoid double investment among telecom sector, maintaining the public landscape and unifying the efforts in spreading telecommunication services. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Salih bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
The Higher College of Technology organized the first Students' Research Forum that shed light on the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution. A number of experts from scientific institutions in other sectors took part in the event. Around 33 research work papers were discussed during the forum, along with 22 students' projects in various fields, such as 3D printing, smart devices, and smart cities. The forum also included discussion sessions on challenges that face the researchers in various educational institutions. The Directorate of Sports Affairs in the Government of North Sharqiya celebrated inauguration of Summer Sports Programs 2019 in the Governorate. The program included a number of various activities such as sport games and intellectual competitions between participants. The program will continue until 22nd of August and aim to benefit from youth free time and activate the role of clubs and sports centers in the wilayas of the Governorate through holding a number of sport activities and events. To emphasize on Omani identity features and laying bridges of communication and brotherhood among all those living in this blessed country, the We Are All Oman convoy began its activities in Al-Dakhiliya Governorate. We got a report on that by Salih bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
Oman has always been a nation of tolerance and peace. To enhance the spirit of national unity, the convoy We Are All Oman visited Al-Dakhiliya Governorate in its 7th station since it began last December.
I've been in Oman now since 2002, so about 17 years. In the beginning I didn't really speak Arabic or anything like that, but after some time I became friends with Omanis and I learned about the language and the culture. And I always say the reason for this is that I felt at home in Oman. I felt at home in Oman because of the way Omani people treat us as foreigners, with tolerance, and they never make us feel that we're different or anything like that. So that kind of encouraged me to want to learn the language so I can speak to my friends, my Omani friends, in their language. And I can speak the language of the country where I feel I'm at home.
Emphasizing the concepts of national identity among school students is one of the top aims of the convoy during its tour around the Sultanate.
Oman is my lovely country. It is so beautiful and has lot of nice people and places.
This convoy is very important because it enhances the Omani identity among students, reinforce the Omani culture and the good citizenship between students.
The endeavor here is also to promote positive ethics and principles among citizens and residents and encourage them to take part in the national development.
Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana lid-dini wal-islami wajtabana.
This convoy fosters values of peace, tolerance and coexistence among all in this noble country, Oman. From the Wilaya of Bahla, Salih bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Al-Dakhiliya Governorate.
Now for the weather focus on the Sultanate, clear skies prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coast of the Arabian Sea. And winds will be northwesterly light to moderate and seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. More details on your screen. Watching the Sultan of Oman television. Before going to tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The State Council discusses the draft law of bankruptcy forwarded from the Council of Ministers. And the Royal Opera House, Muscat reveals holding of the Oman International Festival of Folk Music within its 2019-2020 season. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, thanks for watching. Good night.